Nintendo have produced some of the most iconic songs in video game history by using chords, and Animal Crossing's 9am song is a perfect example of this. Within the first two bars, we can see one of Nintendo's most well-known songwriting tricks, and that's transposing a chord progression. The first two chords played are A-7 and D9, and both of these chords belong in the key of G major as a 2-5 progression, and the next chord, B-7, also belongs in the key of G major. However, it's the fourth chord, E9, that doesn't belong in the key of G major, and that's because in the key of G major we expect to see E minor, not E major. So how does this E9 chord work in the key of G major? Well, if we look at the first two chords, we can see that the distance between them is a fourth. And if we look at the third and fourth chord, we can also see that the distance between them is a fourth as well. So what Nintendo have done is that they've transposed the first two chords up a tone. You can see that the first and third chords are minor, and you can see that the second and fourth chords are both major. And the overall effect of this is that it gives the song character without it feeling too obscure. Another songwriting trick that Nintendo uses in its Animal Crossing songs is the use of the Mixolydian mode. If we have a look at bar 3, we see our A-7 and D9 chords again. However, the third chord in this progression is F9. And when we look at the chords in G major, we can clearly see that F does not belong in that key. It should be F sharp. However, this Animal Crossing song isn't in the key of G, it's actually in the key of G Mixolydian. G Mixolydian is made from the major scale, except on the 7th degree you flatten it. So instead of the standard chords you get from G major, you now get the new chords formed from G Mixolydian. And when we look at the 7th degree of G Mixolydian, we can clearly see the connection between the F here and the F9 used in this song. The last songwriting trick that we'll look at is the 2-5 chord progression. We've seen the use of the 2-5 chord progression earlier in this song. However, in this case, both of the chords don't belong in the key of G major. The movement from C-7 to F7 has the same relationship as the movement from A-7 to D9, and that's a fourth. This chord progression has simply been taken from the key of B flat, but it still has that movement from 2 to 5. And in fact, if we look at the bar after it, we can see that this movement of 2 to 5 has been shifted down by a semitone, which was the first songwriting trick that we looked at earlier. So for your songwriting, you can experiment with transposing a short chord progression by using a step or half step, using the Mixolydian mode, which has that flattened 7th chord, and using the 2-5 chord trick from other key signatures. If you'd like to learn more about practical music theory for writing songs, then click the top link in the description. And if you're intrigued as to how the Beatles used music theory in a creative way, then you might want to check out this video here.